platform where we speak truth to power. Hello, hello, hello. You watch the where the platform where we speak to power. I want to thank each and every one of you that subscribe and watching us on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and X Space. Good morning and welcome. You're watching the where the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you very much for joining us. Please continue to subscribe, help us grow the platform. It's a lovely Sunday day, so I thought I'd get out. You're hearing the noise, the whirring noise in the background. Whirring noise, it's my police scooter. That's what it is. And yeah, it's get in touch really. Get us all good to get out there and get enjoy the sunshine. Uh, you're watching Sinewa, the platform where we speak to. If you are joining us for the first time, I haven't subscribed. Please go ahead and subscribe. Help us grow the platform. We need your support. Basically, what did you think about yesterday's broadcast? What did you think about yesterday's broadcast? What did you think about yesterday's broadcast? What were your thoughts on it? How do you see the broadcast? How does it appeal to you? What does it say to you? And the broadcast and the judgment. What did you feel about the judgment? Was it right? Um, and what does it tell you about our governance? Right now, what does it say about our governance and how will that improve things? All right, no problem. This is Don't worry. I'll wait. It's a lovely day. Yeah, you can hear that. That was your key. All right, see ya. Okay, so so good afternoon and good morning to you. Watching us and those of you joining us. You're watching today where the platform will speak. Yesterday's judgment. Yesterday's judgment just shows us exactly what we need to do. We have to be very, very clear about one thing. Those in government, they are only going to do what they're going to do for their own benefit ultimately. Unless we begin to monitor them and participate in our governance, nothing will change. And we have the power to participate in our government. What are those powers? That's what I'm focusing on. All my broadcasts is to try and really make sure that we begin to understand that the churches and the mosques are there to confuse your mind. I'm sorry to say, there's no other way to put it. The churches and the mosques are there to confuse you and, and leave you sort of helpless. And they're telling you that you're a servant of Jesus or you're a servant of Allah and all that stuff. Whereas they don't want you to know that you're a sovereign. It says so in the constitution. They don't want you to know that you're a sovereign. They are trying to loot from you and keep you blinded. And we are trying to wake you up. You need to be aware that you are a sovereign, and as a sovereign, you can hold your governor to account. You have that power. You have such powers as to be able to hold your government to account. There we go. That's better. You have such powers as to be able to hold your government to account at every level. And you must begin to what? You must begin to use those powers. That is what we are here to encourage you to do on the platform. The sun is very bright, so you won't see it, but you can hear me. I will, I move away from the sun, we'll get better. So, what I'm trying to do is on this platform, we have a massive job to do to raise the level of awareness about the powers we possess inside the 1999 Constitution. Had it been that the constitutions have changed, now we will be talking about something different. But until we can get to the point where we have self-determination via referendum, we have this constitution that's going to be affecting our lives. The worst thing we can do is to ignore the very thing that is impacting our lives and be doing something different. And that's what the religion of Christianity and Islam are doing. They are occupying our minds. All right, thank you much. They are occupying our minds with that inertia, whilst the information that we need to hold our government to account is there, but we're not using it because the Bible and the Quran keep telling us, "Oh, God is was all we're servants of Islam, we're servants of Christianity." And people were talking about the blood of Jesus and all this stuff. The blood of Jesus is not going to pay your bill. Islam is not going to pay your bills. It's not going to give you good schools. It's not going to give you water. It's not going to give you roads. It's not going to give you healthcare. It's not going to give you any of those things. And that is why we are trying to wake you up. That you have powers. That you watching me, you are a sovereign. And we need you to know that with that sovereignty, you can improve the lives of your own community, your family, your your children, your husband, your wife, your community. You can improve it. Those powers are powers that you need to be aware of, and you must begin to use it immediately. The judgment in the courts now that they made, that judgment they made is only for the benefit of the politicians. I'm sorry to say, whoever won that judgment would not improve your lives because the most important task we have never collectively done. And what is the most important task? The most important task that we should do is to monitor our government. Because why? We are sovereigns. The Bible and the Quran are not telling you that you're sovereigns. They are telling you to believe that you're a slave, you're a servant of God, you're a servant of Allah. That's what they're telling you. Whereas in the Constitution, it tells you that you are a sovereign. The Constitution of Nigeria, as bad as it tells you that you're a sovereign, and we are not using those powers. So what we are trying to do is to encourage you. So one of the powers that I want you to really be aware of, and I will be doing it in as many podcasts as possible. You will every broadcast you will see me do. I will always talk about this section 42 and 42C because we need people to know this information to wake us up. The power in the end comes from within your community because you are sovereign. And what does it mean to be a sovereign? Let me explain to you. Section 42A states sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. What does that mean? It means that you are a sovereign. It means that the powers that the government used to govern you is actually they derive it from you. They use it to govern you, and they are answerable to you as a sovereign. And the powers again. Let me read those words again so you understand. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria from whom the government, through this constitution, they have got its powers and authority. I'm going to just do a loose translation of this in Pidgin. The talk says sovereignty, which means say that we be the other pata pata. It belongs to we the people. And now from we the people, now the government, now then they borrow the power. Where they take govern us. See, I've just done that in teaching to help aid the knowledge and understanding of it in our local language. Now, let me do it in Yoruba as well. In Yoruba, it talks about nípa báyìí, ó ti kéde pé ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tí ìjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè ń gba gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. Again, it's the same thing. It's talking about the sovereignty that we possess as citizens, that we have never used in 24 years. And this judgment and everything about it is not helping us to do that. They keep talking about Nigeria is indivisible, indissoluble, and all of that. But they never tell you that you're a sovereign. They never tell you that you're a sovereign. Now, the minute they start telling you they're a sovereign, they know that they have to answer to you. And they are trying to keep you blinded. And our role, we, many people like myself, Assis Newa and others, we are trying to awaken you to that power that you possess. That is the only way you can get the roads, the water, the light, the schools, the bridges, the healthcare, the safety, the security that you want in your community through active participation in your government. Using the powers, 1428. 1428 states, again, I'm going to reiterate. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria from whom the government, with this constitution, derive all the powers and authority. That is the power that we must teach to our youth. It is senseless, it is crazy for us to ignore these powers and be teaching our children, allow our children to be indoctrinated into religions of Islam and Christianity that will not enable our children and our community, our youth, to hold their government to account. We are we are rendering them weak and and useless, and being able to be controlled by those that they are supposed to be those that are supposed to be answerable to them, to the citizens, the government. The government is right. The government is working, should be working for and on behalf of us the people. So I'm here to really remind us that these powers we must exercise it. And how do you exercise those powers? 14.2c of the Constitution states The participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution. We will keep going on about this Constitution because it is of immense importance. It is of immense importance. It is the only way we are going to get the good roads, the water, the light, the schools, the bridges, the healthcare. It is the only way we can hold our government to account. The Bible that you're holding and your Quran, it is subordinate. It is subordinate to the Constitution of Nigeria. Please understand that. The Bible and the Quran that you are holding in your hand, that you are trying to read and encouraging others to follow and believe and be Christian like and be Muslim, and all of these things, they are subordinate to the Constitution of Nigeria, of which you are a sovereign. I'm telling you, do what you need. You are a sovereign. And collectively, we can use our sovereignty to hold our government to account. Now, 14.2c, like I said, I'm going to read that to you in broken. I'll translate it in broken. I'll do it in English, in broken, and then in Yoruba, just to aid understanding. 14.2c. The participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. Now, what does that mean? It means in pidgin, the we the people we get the chance, power to begin the do our part inside government. We give us power. The power we give us inside constitution, we fit use am. This section, e give us power wey be say we fit hold our government to account in accordance with wetin dem write inside the constitution. That power we fit use am. I wan make we begin dey use am. So now that was in pidgin, and we're gonna do it in English. We're gonna do it in English just to give you in Yoruba. Now, ìkópa àwọn ènìyàn nínú ìjọba wọn gbọ́dọ̀ rí dájú ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àwọn òfin orílẹ̀-èdè. That is in Yoruba. So of course we have it in Igbo, we have it in Hausa. I cannot do this one that I cannot do that up here, but I focus on. I know the Yoruba. I speak that. That's why I'm doing this. Thank you for the thumbs up and everybody that's joining us. Thank you very much. We are trying to encourage people to really use this power to hold our government account on a daily basis. It is really, really important. Now, without using these powers to monitor our government on a daily basis, going to the church and going to a mosque, you're wasting your time. I'm sorry to say it. All you are doing is wasting your time. You are not using the powers that you possess. You are ignoring the power you possess because we've been conditioned to do so. And this platform, specifically Citizen Network, the platform where we speak to this power, is geared to giving you this information to encourage you. We are going to repeat this information over and over and over. We are going to continue to repeat this information over and over and over about section 14.2a and 14.2c to saturate the social media with this information so that all of us will know that the powers we possess we can use. And we also talk about how we use it also. Because we have to realize that the Bible and the Quran are there to trick you. I make no bones about that. I will not be silent on that. Our job is to wake you up. Please, I urge you, those of you following us, thank you very much. As you come in, give us a thumbs up. And you're watching us. You're watching Season Network, the platform where we speak with power. It's a nice holiday. Just go for a stroll. And I want to talk about this issue about the judgment. The judgment has taken place. It's not going to make any difference. And I'm here to tell you, even if, even if, had it been Peter Obi one, I'm here to tell you because we are not wanting to practice in our governance and using the powers that we possess as citizens, our lives in our communities, in our villages, in our towns, in our cities will not improve because those powers. We have the power. We are sovereigns, and as sovereigns, we must hold our governance to account. And that is what I'm here to remind you. Everybody must share this message to our villages, to our towns, our cities, to make people understand that we have the power to monitor our governance. This is something I've shared this program before, we've done this before. There is something called Federal Account Allocation Committee monthly allocation that we get. That is a lot of money that many of us are not asking questions of. We're so busy, our heads are buried in the Bible and the Quran, that this money, the politicians will take the money, they will share it among themselves, they will make excuses, and we accept it because we're not questioning it. We're not using the powers of sovereignty that we possess within the Constitution. And I keep reminding you, the Quran and the Bible are subordinate to the Nigerian Constitution. I need you to understand that very well. The Quran and the Bible are what? They are subordinate to the constitution of Nigeria. And you must begin to understand that you have the powers and we need to teach ourselves. That is how we're going to build ourselves and hold our government, make them accountable to us using the powers within the constitution. Yes, we need to change that constitution. And at some point, we need to get to a referendum. But if you do not even know you possess the powers to hold your government to account, how can you get a referendum? That's the point we're making here. The aim of what we are trying to do is to awaken us to the powers we possess to such an extent that we cannot go for self-determination via a referendum, instructing those who elect into office to go and start a referendum in the constitution of Nigeria. I hope this makes some kind of sense. I'm going to come back and talk about it later on. But what I really want you to do is to do for me is please subscribe to Citizen One, the platform where we speak to power. Because this information is the kind of thing we need to saturate our populace on ground in Nigeria to make them know they have the powers and they can hold those they elected to office to account. So what's left for me to say is I want to thank you so much for joining me. And thanks for those of you who followed the broadcast yesterday about the judgment. But in the end, let me just say this quickly. I want to pause one say this and say this quickly. In the end, I want you to really understand something. Don't forget, as you come on to the platform, subscribe, hit notification button, give us thumbs up, help us reach more people, share the broadcast. I want you to know these two powers. Memorize the two powers. 1428. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. 1428. 14.2c. The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with provisions of this constitution. These are the two powers that I need you to really memorize and to share in your community. If you want to make a change in our community, a long-lasting change, you need to begin to be part of the process. Join Citizen NY. Let us enrich our people. Let us enlighten them. Let us wake them up. Because what is going on now, the judgment, the court cases, and everything that you see that is happening, it is all a charade. We are not using our powers. We must begin to monitor our government. We have the power to monitor the government. Let us begin to use those powers. And we will solely, on this platform, singularly, we have to be encouraging us all to begin to make our government accountable to us because we are sovereign. We must make sure that our government, the on a monthly basis, the local government chairman, state house of assembly members, house of reps, senators, that they attend a monthly town hall meeting where they explain to us where the monthly allocation, where it's gone, what they are doing with it, and it is in our power. And in that meeting, we will remind them by reading section 14 to everybody to remind them that we are the sovereign and they are answerable to us. We must begin, we have to literally do that. That is the only solution we have that is going to be long lasting. And I encourage you all, as you're watching this, please share the broadcast. I'm going to end the broadcast. I'll come back in a bit and we'll talk more about this and the judgment and the implications of the judgment. But I want you to know we possess powers. We must begin to use that. The religions of Islam and Christianity are there to confuse you and keep you weak. We are here to empower you. You are watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth power. I'll be back later. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back for now. I'll be back later. For now, it's bye. Subscribe, hit the notification button, of course, give us thumbs up. Thanks and bye for now.